Greetings, this is Eduardo Jumbo. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to install Vaultwarden using Podman. You can follow along if you're using Docker. The reason I use Podman is because it's rootless, meaning you don't have to have a super administrator permissions. Also, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I'd like to thank everybody who is subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it and keeps me motivated to make more tutorials. Okay, so what is Vaultwarden? Vaultwarden, formerly known as Bitwarden _RS, is an open source self-hosted password manager designed to provide secure storage for your passwords. It's lightweight and ideal for users who want to run their own password management service on their own personal server, or those who do not want to rely on proprietary solutions. It supports multiple platforms, including Docker and Podman. We're going to use Podman, making installation straightforward for users familiar with containerization. Okay, in this beginner's guide, we're going to walk you through how to install Vaultwarden using Podman. Podman is an open source containerization tool similar to Docker, but it doesn't require a central daemon, making it a great alternative for users looking for a lightweight, secure option. What this means is that you can be a regular user without having to be a super administrator user. Okay, Vaultwarden, of course, it's open source. It's completely free to use, meaning you have full control of your password data. It's self-hosted, meaning you install it on your server or locally. Obviously, I'm going to install it locally for full privacy and control. It's cross-platform, meaning that it's available on multiple platforms, including Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, with mobile apps for iOS and Android. Before we begin, make sure you have the following installed: Podman or Podman-Compose if you prefer the Compose files. A Linux-based server could be a VM or Raspberry Pi. Because I'm using Fedora Linux, I already have server stuff already installed. And basic command line knowledge, you don't need to do that with Linux. I say just follow my instructions and you'll be perfectly fine. Okay, so if you don't have Podman installed yet, you can get Podman from podman.io here. For example, if you click this link here, it will take you to podman.io, and where you can go and install. You can see there's Mac, Windows, and there's also Linux as well. Usually comes with the distributions, so instructions are all there. Okay, so once you have, you can pull the Podman on the command line. Was Podman install? You can just run this command: Podman space run -d. -d means detached, and then space --name, and the name will be Vaultwarden space, and then you can give it some variables like the WebSocket enabled, set that to true, and the port 8000, meaning 8000 be your local, how you connect it, and then in the container port will be 80, so it'll be :80 Vaultwarden/server, and then you type :LA and space test. So as you can see here, the breakdown for what all those commands do, I already explained that. And then to access Vaultwarden, you go to you open up any web browser, then you go to whatever your server is. It's localhost, or you can type 127.00.18080, or for example, if you have it on another server, like example, if I did it on jumbo.com, it will be on jumbo.com :8080, or whatever port number you decide to use, or 8000. So this is the compose file. So I'm going to look at through here. The version number is 3. You don't need a version number if you're using Podman. So you see Vaultwarden here, and then you can see the image is Vaultwarden/server :latest. The container _name : is Vaultwarden. Restart : space is unless -stopped. The environment, we have one of the environment variable is domain all caps : then you see it says https://vw.domain.tld and quote, so encapsulated in double quotes. Then the volumes : we have a dash, then space, /vw-data /:data/. and you can see what happens here. The VW data, this is the one that would actually create on your local machine. So I'm going to delete this one just to show you that it does work. And then the ports, it shows 127.0.0.1. I actually don't need this. I could just said 8000 and then 80. When it was localhost, that didn't work, maybe because I had my own server running, but this does work here. So that's your compose.yaml file, and that's it. That's literally in there. Then all you need to do is just type podman-compose space up space -d. So I'll show you how to do that. So we'll go to the command line. I'll open up the command line here. So I'm already in the folder, as you can see, the Vaultwarden folder. So you just type podman-compose up, and then -d. -d is to detach it. So you do that, and you can see now it's running. How do I know it's running? If you type podman space ps and then space -a, you can see Vaultwarden has been running for 11 seconds, and you got it from docker.io. So it's running the latest server. But more importantly, it's been running for 12 seconds. You see, it's going to be on 127.0.0.1. So I said if this was a remote server, whatever the remote server will be, it will pick it up automatically. Or for example, if this is on a local network, whatever the IP address, for example, if it was a Raspberry Pi or something else, it would run. And you saw how quickly that is. Now, it's going to take a little while the first time because it's downloading the image, so it might take a little while, but as you can see, it's up and running now. And you can see it recreated this VW data. So this VW data is the one that we're going to use to, the first time when we go to that port number, it's going to ask us to create a user, the administrator user, and I'll show you how to do it in a second. So once again, I'm going to take this out of here because we don't need anymore. So next, these are the screenshots. Obviously, it's the exact same thing as this one here. Okay, looks like I'll change this. I forgot to show you the Vaultwarden, but don't worry about that. We'll take care of that. And this is the live stream. So, for example, if I click this live stream, yeah, so I'll fix that as well. So with that said, let me open up a different browser. I'm going to open up Chromium. Okay, I just came back from Kingston, Ontario. My uncle wanted to visit the Penitentiary Museum, so we were there, and there was also a client. So I purchased a computer for her, and it's been sitting here for like 2 or 3 months. So I was able to actually deliver to her. I installed the Ubuntu Linux on it, and I was showing her how to use it. Okay, so that said, we just go to http://127.0.0.1, and I think what port number do we use again? Let me just double check. Port number was 8000. There we go. So we go to 8000, and Vaultwarden is starting. So you see here, it's asking us to create an account. Now, there is no account. So what we need to do is we need to create an account because there's no account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click create an account. So I'm going to use our usual, the one we always use. Remember, this is local. So Edward at show.local, and I'll say Edward. Click continue. So it's asking for the master password. Okay, obviously make your password pretty strong. Okay, looks like I might have to make this password a little bit stronger. Okay. Oh man, looks like I need to make the password even stronger. One field needs your Oh, okay, it says it must be 12 characters. Okay, so let me create a password that is 12 characters. Yeesh. I hope that's 12 characters. I think that's, let me see. I think that's 12 characters. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is what I wanted. So yeah, it forces you to make a strong password. That was it. Okay. All right. So, so what happens here is now you see we have, as you can see here, I can you see it gets started. You can import data. I don't have any data to import. And you can install a browser extension. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to dismiss those two to get started. So as you can see, this is your password manager. There's a vault you can send. There are tools. So let's go to settings first. And before we do that, you see there's a filter here. There's obviously nothing, so there's nothing to filter. So we'll go to settings. Let's go to my account. You see my account, obviously I put my name in here. I can change the email address if I want, and I can customize some of these things, like I can turn off new device login protection. I can deauthorize sessions. I can purge the vault. I can delete the account, and obviously I can customize. You see here it has my fingerprint phrase. Okay, next there's security. Let's go to security. You see there's a master password. The master password is obviously, if you forget things, you'll be able to log in as the administrator and change things as well. Then you can also enable two-step login. You can use the authenticator app. Remember, I did create an app where you can create your own authentication using different methods. Remember, I created one right in PHP, so it's not hard to do. You can also use FIDO2 web authn, and you can use Duo, the Duo security. As for devices, right now I'm using Chromium browser, so that's the only one to create the vault. And obviously you can also make keys here, the keys and the KDF algorithm and alteration. So you can change here. You can also view the API key or rotate the API key. That's all up to you. So next, let's go to preferences. Preferences is here. You see it'll automatically log you out after 15 minutes. There's a vault timeout. You can do log or log out. And the default language, you see, obviously I think it's you can tell it's English, but there's others like Afrikaans and different other languages. And then the show website icons, it's enabled. And then the theme, you can choose light theme, dark theme, or use the system theme. I'm just going to leave that for now. Light theme usually works pretty well, especially for tutorials. Okay, next let's go to the domain rules. And you can see the domain rules here. They can have custom equivalent domains. You can create a new custom domain. For example, here the global equivalent domains, if you don't know what that means. For example, ameritrade.com and TD Ameritrade. So basically the word Ameritrade inside it will allow, for example, MBNA, so forth and so forth in here. Let's go to emergency access. You can do the trusted emergency contacts and designate it as emergency contact. So you can add here, just click on add, and then you can just put the email address and view takeover, etc., etc. All right, now that is all in the settings. So there will be nothing in reports right now because there's in the reports there's exposed password, reused passwords, weak password, unsecure websites, inactive two-step login, and data breach. None of this are relevant right now because I haven't even created my password or vault yet. Okay, under tools you have the generator. So if I need a password generator, you can see you can generate a password. You just put the length, and all this is local on your machine. It's not connected to the internet or any cloud or anything like that. So then you can include capital A to Z, lowercase a to Z, 0 to 9, that's the digits, and you can use special characters here if you want as well. And then you can avoid ambiguous characters, and then it'll show you the generator history. You can just change the length as well. If you remember when I was trying to create a password earlier, it had say 12 characters. So you see here it's 14 and etc. You can also use a passphrase. So the passphrase is, for example, you see this is what a passphrase is. So it says salute, hamster, figurine, Glitzy, Pelt, Anton. So then you can refresh. It's 6 letters, so you can change that as well. You can see the changes here. You can change the number of words. You can also have a password separator. The default is a hyphen. You can capitalize. You can include a number. That's all up to you. And it will show you the generator history if you do need that. And then you can also do the username. For example, you see it's said to be a random word. You can capitalize, include numbers, and you can see strongman, passenger, revolt, if you need any of those. So that's actually pretty good. That's in generator. Import data. So you can import a folder. You can choose the file format. For example, Bitwarden JSON, Bitwarden comma separated file CSV, Chrome CSV, Dashlane CSV, Firefox CSV, KeyPass 2, which is an XML, LastPass, Safari and macOS CSV, iPass, which is a 1PUX/JSON, 1Password, which is a 1PIF, one iPassword 6 and 7 for the Mac. It's a CSV file, iPass 6 and 7 for Windows. Well, you get the point. There's so many of them. I'm not going to go through all. It will take all day. Okay, so you can import the passwords from there. Basically, most of them will probably be web browsers or web browser type application where which stored your password. So you can obviously. I'm actually wondering if one of the Linux ones. I think it was called Seahorse. Yeah, there we go. This is the GNOME password and keys. The Seahorse one. You can also import your data. What format is that one actually? Let me see. GNOME. Looks like it's a JSON file. So there we go. So there you can learn something today. Okay, and obviously you can export your Vault. You can export as JSON, CSV, JSON encrypted, and I usually use JSON encrypted or a zip with attachments. All right, so that's individual Vault. And of course, we have send. So you can create a new send, for example, a text or a file, and you just click new, and this will send it, I guess, as an email to someone, make them aware of it. Okay, so let's actually stop yapping around, and let's actually create a new item and a vault. So we'll go to vaults here. So it's going to ask me for an item name. Guess what I'm going to call this one? Really, tutorial. I'll call it tutorial. There's no folder. And login credentials. So I'll just say Edward here, and I'll create a super strong password. Actually, I'm going to try to make it a weak password. Authenticator key if you want one. I'm just going to leave that blank. And the website. So I'll say this is for Jumbo show.local. It can autofill for you, and you can put some notes in here, but I'm okay with that. So you can also add extra fields. That's how it's save. And you can see. So when I go to the website of jumboshow.local, let's say I had a form, I could immediately autofill it with this information in here. So is that cool or what? And obviously, if I want to see the password, I can see this. You see toggle visibility, or I can click this to copy the password as well. So let me close this. Now, as you can see, I spelled tutorial wrong. Okay, it doesn't matter. So I can always go back to it, and I can view, I can edit. I can also obviously delete it as well. Now, with that said, now that I actually have something, you see, I can go to my Vault. Now I will be able to search and filter it down. What I want to do is, let's say I go to send, and I click new send. So let's say I want to send a text file. You see, I can put the details here, the name, and send it to that person. And say you can also put a password as well. So this is a great way, and you can also hide hide your email address from viewers. So this will allow you, for example, let's say this happens to me all the time. Is that some clients they will ask me to do something that's very sensitive. It could be PayPal, it could be Stripe, it could be even the credit card details. What they do is they just send it by email, and that always freaks me out. It's like I always have to tell them, whoa, email or text messages, that is not a secure way. So something like this will be perfect. So as you can now, obviously the install is going to be a little bit tricky, but something like this will be really good, because if you notice, they can send me something that will be encrypted and maybe just give me the password, right? and when I receive it, I can then decrypt it. So something like Vaultwarden would make it very, very, very handy for me. So that's Vaultwarden, the password manager. I've gone through basically everything, and as usual, I'm probably the only person who does this. What you do is you make sure you log out when you finish. So you logged out. Now, if you don't want Vaultwarden, maybe you think you have something better, I'll show you what you do. So you can also remove it. So the first thing you do is you type Podman hyphen compose. You can also, I said one more time, you can also use, if you're using Docker, you can do the same thing, just replace Podman with Docker. Okay, you just type down. You see, now if I type Podman ps-a, you see it's done. But there are probably some volumes, so let's check how many volumes we have. Volume ls. Okay, we don't have any volume, so we can actually get rid of this. For example, if I type Podman images, you see there's this Vaultwarden and it's 243 megabytes. I can probably delete this. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to delete it. So I just type Podman. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go, so you guys can see a little bit better. Podman space RMI. Then you get the image ID, paste it, it's gone. So there's no, Vaultwarden is gone. Obviously you still have the data here, so if you don't need this, you just wipe this as well, because your data is being saved here. So if you don't know what's inside this data, you can see here it uses SQLite, and it saves all the stuff in here as well. So there we go. So you can just back up this folder, which will have your passwords and all that. So let's see how big this folder is. I go to properties. It should tell me how big this folder is. No, that's not what I wanted. The folder is 300 and about 0.3 megabytes, or 362.5 kilobytes. So that's it. So that is Vaultwarden. Okay, so let's finish this up. So in conclusion, Vaultwarden is a powerful and easy to use open source password manager that you can host yourself. By using Podman, you get a lightweight and secure containerized solution without the need for Docker. Whether you are a tech enthusiast or someone just looking for better password management, Vaultwarden offers a self-hosted solution that you can trust. Need help? If you need help with one-on-one programming tutorials, custom installation, updates, or migrations of Vaultwarden, feel free to contact me at ojambo.com/contact. And I have additional resources here. You can get the official Vaultwarden GitHub repository. Just click on this. And I already talked about Podman, the podman.io. See, this is the one that takes you to Vaultwarden. And you can see, if you look at this time of this recording, it's still well maintained, as you can see here. And these are the instructions on how to install it, and I showed you. You see, I think it's one of the first applications where you actually mentioned Podman. But I showed you how to install it as well using the instead of Docker Compose, I use Podman-Compose. Okay, so we can wrap it up here, and also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Okay, so I'm going to check the live stream. I don't see any chat requests, so I'm going to end this. If you have any questions about Vaultwarden, you can contact me again. It's ojambo.com/contact, or you can leave a comment, or yeah, just you can also leave a comment under the article as well. Okay, so I'm going to end this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next tutorial. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Peace.